Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, November 13th, 2016, another undeniable piece of evidence of how professional sports are scripted by the numbers. If you don't follow my blog, yesterday I wrote about why I thought the Cowboys would upset the Steelers in Pittsburgh as they went on to do in improbable fashion. In case you've never seen my videos before, I'm often ranting about how ridiculous NFL football games are. You know, games where a team can't move the ball at all game. They can't move the ball, they're having no luck, and then all of a sudden, with 2 minutes left, the offense just comes alive and they go down the field like a hot knife through butter. You know, a couple weeks ago on Sunday Night Football, the Colts were up 14 points with 5 minutes left, and I think the Texans hadn't even scored 14 points all game. Then all of a sudden, the Texans scored quickly 14 points to send it to overtime and then won the game. There's just so many ridiculous finishes in the NFL. The Packers just almost came back against the Colts in similar fashion the week before last. Anyhow, yesterday's game, suspecting the Cowboys would win, I saw how Dak Prescott came out with 42 seconds on the clock, and I told my girlfriend, I said, watch this. The Cowboys are going to win this game. They're going to win this game. The 42 seconds is the key. And I was explaining to her, as I've explained to people all season, Dak Prescott equals 42. Special number of the Freemasons. Very important number in football. Do a Google search right now. A web search, whatever your search browser is. Type Hail Mary 42. Go back and look through box scores where Hail Marys have been thrown and see how often it was the quarterback's 42nd attempt of the game. See how often the Hail Mary was 42 yards. Special number in football, special number to the Freemasons, coded into a lot of superstar athletes. LeBron James equals 42. Multiple videos talking about where there's 4.2 seconds left on the clock and the ball's going to LeBron. They do this. The games are planned, they're scripted. When they know they're going to hit these final touchdowns, the way the games are scripted, they make sure the clock's in the ballpark. And there's leeway with the clock. You can take off an extra second, you can take off an extra 2 seconds, you can pause the clock a hair early. These are all things I've documented throughout the season. They plan these events. It's scripted, it's theater. For those of you who don't get how a QB in the pro can hit a receiver for a touchdown, you're just not athletically gifted, okay? You're looking at someone who's athletically gifted. I was a very talented athlete as a youngster. All the other youngsters that lived around me, they weren't as talented. I got bored as a child dominating the competition. I've always been very good at throwing things, from baseballs to footballs. I was a child. We're talking about professional men. As a child, I could throw a football in a bucket from distance all day. You don't think professionals who get paid millions of dollars can do it? There's a lot of people in this country that can do it. There's a lot of people who are a lot more athletically gifted than me. As I got older, other kids caught up. You know? Anyway, 29 to 30, 42 seconds coming out. The Dak Prescott number. By the way, Cowboy equals 29, so does football. 29 seconds, 42 coming out. We're talking about America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. United States of America, 84 days until the Super Bowl. What I wrote about before the game, the thing that I was mostly looking at is if the Cowboys won, they would be 8-1, beating the Pittsburgh Steelers in their home. Symbolic, Pittsburgh Steelers 81, Cowboys did become 8-1 with the improbable last-second drive. And also, if you were watching the game around this time while it was stopped with 42 seconds, they went to Ben Roethlisberger, and I didn't take the best picture here. I don't know why I didn't take a better picture. But, I mean, he was just like walking around, looking up. Like, you could just see his face like something was sick inside him. You could just see he wasn't happy. I mean, maybe he's tormented because of the anxiety of the game. But really what I think it is these guys know the script. And maybe even though they know it's scripted, they still hate losing anyway. Like so many of us do, you know. A lot of poor losers in this world. As a child, admittedly, I was a poor loser. Had to grow up and learn that lesson. So anyway, 42 seconds. Then what happens? You know, think about it. You're an NFL football team. You're in a situation where the one thing you cannot do is give up a touchdown. So what do the Steelers do with their defense? They pretty much blitz everybody up to the line, creating this gap for the running back to run through and just run past everyone. It's just the stupidest fucking play ever on defense. It's like, remember back in Tecmo Bowl when you had 4 plays? It would be like purposely picking the dumbest play you could pick. That's what the Steelers did here. The Cowboy ran right up the middle, won the game. You know? For those of you who want to say the players aren't in on it, and it's all the refs and the coaches and the quarterback, maybe somebody on the defense, that's a possible theory. I don't think that's what's going on based on what I've been paying attention to. Seems like a lot of players are aware of the script. But anyway, this is how it could be done if it was just the coaches. If the coach wanted to make sure his defense called the absolute shit play to make this play possible, perhaps. But then there'd still be the chance that the running back didn't make it through. That's why I think they're all in on it. It's a script. So anyway, what made me laugh my ass off is after he scored, they made sure they stopped the clock. Oh my God, my picture's too blurry. But anyway, just go back and check the game tape. There were 9 seconds left on the clock. 9 seconds left. 9 starting with 42 means that the drive took 33 seconds off the game clock. Yesterday's game was a date with a life lesson number of 33. The Steelers established in 33 along with the Eagles. 33, very special number to the Freemasons who created American football. Again, the word Freemason, 42, fixated with 33. 42 seconds on the clock. Drive finishes with 9 left. When you write out 9 as a word, it also sums to 42. They put up these stats about 1977 as well. 8 straight wins in a season for first time since 1977. Ezekiel Elliott, first 1,000-yard rushing season for a rookie since 1977. Tony Dorsett. Tony Dorsett wore number 33. 33. Life lesson number of 33. Game-winning touchdown, symbolic over the team established in 33. When this game ended, out west, it was 444. Masonic equals 444. Out east, it was 744. Remember, Freemason, Masonic, 74. Occult, 74. Special number to this gang. Numerology, gematria, esoteric, occult practices used to script professional sports. You might have heard that Dez Bryant's father died the day before the game. That was November 12th. That was 85 days before the Super Bowl. National Football League equals 85. His name was MacArthur Hatton. MacArthur Hatton in gematria sums to 64, 181, which is the 42nd prime number. In case you missed my recent work on the Dodgers, Los Angeles Dodgers, 181. David Ray Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, 181. 181, the 42nd prime, associated with Jackie Robinson, who wore 42. Number stamped all over black people throughout history. Remember, number of the Freemasons who believe in divide and conquer. One of the things they've divided us and conquered us over is our race. The date of his death, November 12, 16, a date with 39 numerology. Cowboys equals 39. The stadium this year for the Super Bowl, NRG equals 39, where construction began March 9th. 39 is typically the number of New York. Part of the reason I think the Giants are going to be there. The Giants beat the Cowboys to start the season with a score of 20-19, a sum of 39 points. New York 39, Cowboys 39. The date this man died, his father, also a date with 59 numerology. 2 numbers stamped all over black people throughout history, 42 and 59. February, the only month that sums to 42, ends on the 59th day of the year, February 28th. Kill equals 59 in Jewish gematria. Negro 59, Slave 59, Blues 59. Motown Records came out in 59. Dez Bryant, the player who lost his father the day before this symbolic game, his birth name is Desmond Demond Bryant. Interesting name. Desmond Demond Bryant. Just like that. 83, just like cowboy, just like football. Makes me wonder what's going on with his father. Seems to be more evidence of a Manchurian athlete here. Desmond Bryant. Also yesterday, Pat Tillman wore cleats, or not Pat Tillman, Antonio Brown, who wears the number 84, were cleats for Pat Tillman, who played for Arizona. Arizona equals 84. Pat Tillman, remember, after 9/11, he was playing for the Cardinals. He said he wanted to go fight in the wars. He went to Afghanistan. Noam Chomsky, the MIT professor, MIT equals 42, by the way, he said that he was talking to Pat Tillman at the time of his death, and they were collaborating on putting a book together about what was going on in Afghanistan with the soldiers being used to guard opium poppy fields. And anyway, you might recall what happened to Pat Tillman. It came out that he was killed in active combat as a hero. That was the story. And then after some time, it came out that the story of his death was falsified. He was actually killed by friendly fire. And if you took the time to follow the congressional hearings about his death and the misreporting of his death, which was a saga for a while, they talked about how his death was caused from gunshots at point blank range to the back of his head. You know, all of this information leaked out, came out slowly over time, from the heroic death to, oh, wait, that was a false story, to he was killed by friendly fire, to he was killed point blank in the back of his head. You know? More lies, unaccounted for. And September 11th, what gave rise to all this, the biggest lie of all that we still need justice for. Anyway, the name Pat Tillman equals 118, like death. This announcement came out on Veterans Day, November 11th. When I say that some games are easy to read and other games are more difficult to read, you know, I just did a video on the Seahawks-Patriots, and I showed how I only saw a very clear read for the Seahawks to win last night. Yesterday, the evidence suggested the Cowboys would win, but if the Steelers were to win, this is what I noticed. Pat Tillman equals 118 like death. In Jewish gematria, Ben Roethlisberger was going for his 118th regular season win yesterday. That didn't come. And you might recall that when I predicted that the Steelers would lose to the Dolphins before that game happened, that was a big upset that I said in the numbers was foreshadowed. I showed how the numbers on Ben Roethlisberger that game were really negative. I said he has the death numbers on him, and he got a bad injury. Now he's back from the injury, but suffering a loss at home. Anyhow, point is, your sports are scripted. If you deny they're scripted, you know, just go watch all my videos, all that I've predicted correctly. This isn't an exact science, but by being aware of the language, you can see a lot of things. It's like yesterday. When he came out with 42 seconds, I said, you got to be kidding me. Here we go. Let's see what happens. And then they scored the touchdown with 9 left. You know? So there it is, truth seeker. You know, that's the extent of the message. Let me show you one more thing. I talk about this in videos, this number 353. You see how they put this up on the stats? Ben Roethlisberger, 35 of 44 with 353 yards and 3 touchdowns. Here's where we go into the Twilight Zone part. Remember, the Twilight Zone equals 84 like United States of America, just like the name Serling. Rod Serling came out with the Twilight Zone. And it's not a coincidence, it all lines up that way. It's because we've always been ruled over by Freemasons who've practiced gematria, who've coded numbers before our eyes through words. Pay attention to movies. When you see a church scene, I've just seen this in so many movies, being aware of this the last 3 years, that I just realized they do this a lot. When you see a church scene in a movie, a TV show where it's obvious they're inside a church, look in the background, and you will see so often on a wall, the number 353 is up somewhere. 353. Catholic equals 35. Religion equals 53. The word Jesuit equals 84, like United States of America. Anyhow, the Rooney family that runs the Steelers, who are in their 84th season, Jesuit 84. Right now we have the first Jesuit Pope, his birth numerology 84. Anyway, Jesuit family, Jesuits within the Catholic Church. These are numbers very relevant to the Catholic Church here, 353 as well as 35 and 44. Remember, the only Catholic president, JFK, he was the 35th president, the 44th term president. He was assassinated. The shortest term pope was the 33-day pope who died on a date with 44 numerology. The last day of him being alive was the day of the Jesuit order's birthday. Arsenic is the 33rd element on the periodic table. Arsenic equals 33 in gematria. Most people think that pope was killed with arsenic. given to him on the Jesuit order's birthday, dead the next day, 33-day pope. Anyway, dead on a date with 44 numerology, the word kill equals 44. Before this game was played, I wrote this post. The word Catholic equals 35 the small way, 71 the big way. 71 and 44 are the only, and I'm saying 71 and 44 because the record 7 and 1 is a lot like 71, 4 and 4 is a lot like 44. The only numbers when written out as words that sum to 144 are 71 and 44. These numbers have to do with time, they have to do with history, they have to do with political assassinations. Think about JFK, the last assassination, the only Catholic president killed in Dallas. The president, Pennsylvania Avenue, Steelers in Pennsylvania. I really do think they're coding a riddle here. They're trying to tell us something. The sports are scripted with the current events. This is a shining example. JFK died on the first day of Sagittarius, gematria of 144. JFK died in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Master Mason, on 11/22. This game here came on the date with the life lesson number 33, big 33 tribute at the end. Also, what you should know, yesterday's game on the 13th, Dallas in gematria sums to 13. Super Bowl 13, played right here, the Steelers beat the Cowboys. Yesterday, reverse of fate, the Cowboys beat the Steelers, just like how Sunday Night Football was a rematch of Super Bowl 49, where the Patriots beat the Seahawks, but yesterday, the Seahawks reversed fortune, beating the Patriots at the goal line. So anyway, I think there's riddles here. No doubt the 42-second tribute to Dak Prescott, the Freemasons, scripted football, improbable, unrealistic stories. Remember, the same people who write your movies are the same people who create your sports. They're the Freemasons, they're the Zionists, they do it by the numbers, again and again. Till next time.